Hi, this is Stefan, and we're going to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Book S LTE. So let's jump into this. First off, this laptop was actually released on February 2017, and it comes in mercury gray and earthy gold, and it's a 13-inch laptop that runs off of a Qualcomm chip. This is actually has been released um, much sooner than the Apple M1 processor laptops. But yeah, this you can actually get a laptop that's built for Windows that runs on a Snapdragon 8CX compute processor, and it's a 64-bit ARM architecture. Really, what that basically means is that any 32-bit application will run on this, and it also comes with its own LTE connection, which is great as well. So let's take a look at the port situation. So we've got two USB Type C ports, as you can see, one on either side. And there, it comes with a USB-C to USB-A adapter in the box, but can't find mine right now, so I wasn't able to show it to you. But as you may also see, standard headphone jack on the left side of the laptop, and underneath you have your SIM card and memory card tray. This is a fanless operation, so because it's a Qualcomm chip, you don't need a fan to actually keep it cool for most operations. If you need to do something that's terribly processor intensive, you may want to have something cool, or you might want to just give it some breathing room so that it can dissipate heat from the bottom of the laptop. As you may also see, I'm gonna bring in a picture that I took early on. This shows the inside of the laptop. It shows the massive battery inside and the huge heat sink on the Qualcomm processor, and no fan. So let's see. It's powered by Qualcomm 8CX compute engine, 64-bit ARM processor. It also has 8 gigs of RAM, and as you can probably see in this clip, it's booting up in 36 seconds, which is actually pretty quick, and it's pretty snappy for a fanless machine. It's quick and quiet for a fanless laptop. It's got nice long battery life. It usually lasts me about a day and a half to 2.5 days before I need to charge it. And by using it as my daily driver, and since I use it as my daily driver, as you can see here, I actually use Shotcut to edit my last several videos on this laptop itself. And just a little quick note, I did not put this in my notes, but if you're using Shotcut on this laptop, rendering is greatly reduced if you plug it in. If it's not plugged in, I think the battery optimization that might be built into the firmware will slow it down, and it will take multiple times longer. Even though you can't expect it to be that fast with a 64-bit ARM chip and only 8 gigs of RAM. So also we've got so I started using the Shotcut, just to let you know. I started using Shotcut because I started this channel with Adobe Premiere Rush, but it's not available on ARM driven devices. So if you download, as you can see in this clip here, when I download it and go to run it, it's not even available to attempt to download. So Adobe kind of amplifies things where they'll take away your ability to do anything or to experiment with something because it doesn't meet some sort of a requirement here or there. Also, to be fair, Adobe is actually they're in development for a 64-bit ARM, or I don't know if it's going to be a 64-bit ARM, but they are developing an ARM version of the Adobe Premiere Rush desktop software. Except my show must go on. I can't wait for them for years or however long it's going to take. When this laptop was released 3 years ago, and they still don't have it. So next thing is Norton. Norton is also not compatible. So I basically ended up just enabling all of the available options on the Windows Defender application, which also requires OneDrive to be installed. I had not tried McAfee, so it might be compatible. But I just haven't tried it. Um, so I've already paid for an Adobe. I mean, not Adobe. Well, I have an Adobe subscription too, but since I've already paid for a Norton account and I already have other devices on that one, I'm not going to switch over to McAfee. By the way, it's really terrible to hear about John McAfee and the whole suicide situation. There's a lot of talk about whether he was actually um, had committed suicide or if he was suicided, and that's a whole other issue. But my condolences to his family. Um, Also, let's see. On this laptop, these speakers are loud. I think they're tuned by AKG, but there's a very nice sound to these speakers, and they're very loud. But I'm not going to test them here. I'm not going to show you here because I don't want to disturb my neighbors any further. Let's see. So let's see. We've got that. The keyboard. Keyboard. I've seen some other YouTubers complain that the keyboard, the function key on the keyboard is either on or off, and you know, so when you have the function key on, and you might forget that that the function key is on, and you press an arrow key, for instance, and it goes all the way to the end of the line or the end of paragraph or whatever you're trying to do, as opposed to just the very next point or the very next space there. Um, you don't have to press function and then press the key. You can press them together, and then function will function, temporarily, and then go back to normal um, as you're used to. The other thing is the keyboard. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to tell if you actually typed a particular character, or sometimes you might go ahead and type the character, or you feel like you typed the character, but it doesn't come up. So I'm not entirely sure if that's a keyboard issue or because I'll talk about that stuff in the issues part of the section of this video. But yeah, so keyboard is backlit and has a function key. You don't have to just turn it on all the time or off all the time. So well, this does bring us to the issues. So issues, sometimes the touch screen doesn't function. I don't know if it's a situation where on the power on self test it doesn't register or it doesn't make itself known, but sometimes you'll boot up Windows and you can't do anything with the touch screen. Did I actually hold on? I think I might have skipped some things here. Did I get everything here? SIM card and SD card slot. Yeah, I think I might have missed something here. But let me backtrack for a second. I wanted to go ahead and make something known here. There is also a fingerprint reader on this device. You can use that for Windows Hello. I forgot about it because I don't use it that often. But here I'll show you a demonstration of actually using the fingerprint reader. And yeah, now back to the issues situation, the issues part of this section. So sometimes the touchscreen doesn't make itself available, doesn't function, but a reboot will bring it back up. So sometimes it's one reboot that makes it start working, and sometimes you have to reboot a couple of times or just leave it alone and reboot some other time. So there's that. The Hinge, as you've seen in the start of this video, when I opened up the laptop, and it just seemed to open just fine with one hand, but it doesn't always open so smoothly. It could be just that I've had the laptop for only a couple of months, and maybe it just didn't loosen up yet. But yeah, it doesn't always open as smoothly as you saw in the intro here. So you may have to open it up and the bottom comes up a little bit, and you might have to wait a couple of seconds for it to drop, or maybe not a couple of seconds, but you just wait maybe a second or so for it to drop, and then continue opening the screen. So it's not a big deal for me, but thought that I would mention that in case someone needed to see or hear that. Also, random slowness. I got some random slowness using this laptop, but it could be because I'm using a developer's copy of Windows 10 when I got it. Now, since Windows 11 has been announced, now it's been pushed to my laptop through an update. So there's that. There's some other issues that I've run into with Windows 11. I'm not going to fault this laptop about. So the random slowness could be from either other accounts. As you may have seen, I have multiple accounts on this laptop. So other accounts, if they're still logged in, they could be eating up RAM. There's also the developer version, and of course, Chrome. Just Chrome. If you use Chrome on this laptop, it'll be fine for a minute, but then it's gonna suddenly Chrome is gonna just suddenly lock up for a couple of seconds or a minute, or it might just you click on something and you have to wait for it to actually respond. But I've only seen this issue with Chrome, Firefox, Edge. I don't have that problem, and I've already disabled Internet Explorer, so I don't know if Internet Explorer does the same thing. So final thoughts is this is a buy if your mission critical software is compatible or can be run on this laptop. For instance, if there's a 32-bit version of your software, that's fine. And if you want something that's lightweight, relatively quiet, unless you want to hear something, because the speakers are so good. And 13-inch screen is fine. It's a nice glossy 1080p screen, and if you don't mind using dongles for your accessories, or all your accessories are USB Type-C compatible, and also if you can spend $999, because this is still a $1,000 laptop, even though it's 3 years old, or even though it's been released 3 years ago, according to just a quick search here. So I'm going to put a link to this on the Samsung website into the description. Though you may prefer to get this through your carrier, so you can just go ahead and get the LTE line along with it, so you don't have to be reliant on public Wi-Fi's or or neighboring Wi-Fi or anything like that. So you can always be connected. If you're on the road somewhere and there is no Starbucks nearby, you don't have to worry about it. Or if it's full, whatever it might be, whatever the situation might be, it's good and very useful that it has its own LTE connection. Right now, I've gotten mine through T-Mobile because the T-Mobile version of this laptop is only available on the T-Mobile website. The Samsung website does not have the T-Mobile version of this laptop. And I set mine to the 100 gigabyte, and I'm barely using that, so I'm probably going to turn that down a bit. Save a couple of bucks on my bill. But yeah, the having its own data plan is very useful, and it comes in handy in multiple situations. So that's it for me. Once again, this is Stefan. You just watched a review about the Samsung Galaxy Book S LTE version, and I'll see you next week.